It's just gone 5:15 in the morning. I'd like to be able to tell you that I'm getting up to go and get some sunrise photography, which I am, but this is also just the normal time that I get up to go to work, but not for long. I'm going to try vlogging some photography in London this morning, which is where I work. I haven't vlogged in public that much before, and certainly not somewhere as busy as London, so one, hopefully it's not going to be that busy, and two, I've tried to get my vlogging kit down as small as it can possibly get. So I've just got my 600D, which is my still photography camera, and which is my vlogging camera, and that's it, nothing else. That's as inconspicuous as it can get. See, it's so early that the streetlights aren't on for about another hour. Coming straight up London Bridge Station was at the Shard, and I thought, well, I'll take a shot there, but what can I take that's slightly different to all the other shots that you see of the Shard? What I really wanted here was some interesting sky, but as it happened, the only bit of cloud that was happening in the sky at all was over to the east. There was literally nothing here, so I thought, well, what works here, if anything, is the contrast, so I'll turn it into black and white. And what seems to happen with the Samyang lens is that when you turn it into black and white, it does develop this grainy appearance that kind of reminds me of 70s newsprint. Not that I was around in the 70s to see it, but kind of what you see of that in the past. So I actually quite like that. From the Shard, I kind of dipped back into London Bridge Station and poked out the other side and made my way down to the South Bank and shuffled along a bit, a little bit past HMS Belfast. So today's my last day in London at my current job, and normally I just go straight past London Bridge Station, but I thought I'd get off at London Bridge this time and walk to work, which is only about 1.5 miles, and try and get a bit of sunrise photography. But I've bought a really bad range of lenses. I've got a 12mm wide angle and a 50mm, so I really need something in the middle, but I haven't got it, so never mind. Again, you've seen loads of photos of Tower Bridge, so there's nothing new that I can bring to the party. So I was just looking at the differences that I can get with the lenses and the kind of the focal lengths. From there I double back and keep going along the South Bank, sort of went over London Bridge and down and around, and ended up at this building. I actually don't know what this building is. Moving on to Southwark Cathedral, but what I quite liked here is I just about got the Shard poking out the top in the background, almost making it look as if it's like another level of the cathedral itself. Now I'm back and I'm looking at it. I quite like the framing of the two modern buildings on the left and the right of the cathedral, but I did screw up the framing, didn't I? I should have left a little gap just on the left side of the cathedral as you look at it, between that and the new building, but no, never mind. Anyway, I took a bit of a windy kind of route along, so you can't always walk directly on the South Bank, so this is as close as I could get for a little while. Got to this bridge, which is Southwark Bridge. What's really good about London is that it's quite easy to avoid modernity, in that it's obviously a very modern city, in that if you just pans slightly to the left or to the right, you can see all the really modern buildings, and they are visible here in the background, but this looks a little bit older style, and again I quite liked it with the black and white. But what I really liked on this one, so this is the same bridge, just I think I'm actually just leaning over the wall that you could see in the previous one, because I didn't go down any steps or anything. What I liked about this was the fact that it is in colour, but that colour is so washed out. I like the kind of sepia tone. That's nothing I've done to this photo, that's just I've just done your basic corrections to this. So this is just what the sunrise did at the time to the water. And along the south bank from there, and of course you end up at the Tate Modern and the Millennium Bridge. So everyone's got a photo of this, and so have I. And to be honest, you know, location 5A, I did stop halfway along the bridge, and I got a bit sidetracked by this. I mean, for some reason, I don't know why, I think I was going to get a time lapse here, but I was just stood staring at this thinking there must be a shot here. But because the shard is obscured by some of the other buildings, you think, well, what is the shot? Is it this? And this is the best I could do at the time, in that it was framed by the, you know, the girders of the Millennium Bridge, but that wasn't quite right. I thought, well, try the other way, and there's Blackfriars Bridge, and there's a seagull looking at the passers-by, and I thought, no. So back to this view. So what is it about this view that I like? And it's the sun, obviously, it's the washed out colour palette, it's the relative calmness of the Thames. So this is actually that first shot through the girders, but I've just cut away all the detail. I've zoomed right in, which of course is the gift of DSLRs. You know, there's enough resolution to crop in, and I thought that's what I was after. Whether it was a great shot or not, it doesn't really matter, but that's what was in my head at the time. So moving on from Millennium Bridge, to be honest, I turned to the right. I quite like the view. I took a shot and I moved on, so I didn't expend all that much time on it. And then final stop, up to St Paul's itself. I quite like this recognisable but unrecognisable landmark view, in that it's clearly St Paul's if you look at it, but you could also mistake it for virtually anything else. But that's it. That's the end of my life in London. I think it's highly unlikely that I'll be back there to work anytime soon. So that's the end of this one. I haven't really got an ending, other than please comment, like and subscribe if you liked it, and tick the little bell if you'd like to be notified when the next one comes along.